What's shaking? What's happening? We are grounding the 13D, and I got some signs to share with you. I saw an airplane last night flying low, and its wings weren't blinking. And wounds are exposed for people. That's the synchronicity. Nothing's being hidden now. Everything is revealed. So the airplane looked like the Italian flag. Green, white, and red. Just like right overhead. It seemed like a sign of safety, like you're being watched over by Italia, maybe an Italian, your gangster star family, your gangster angels. You're being watched over. Something about Bruce, the line of Bruce, the bloodline to the Scots, Bruce the Lion. So this may be connected with some of those people. There's something that has to do with blood. Some people might have a staph infection if you're feeling low. If you have maybe a skin wound, you may want to go to a clinic, get a blood test. Biohacking. I was biohacking today. I felt called to take a bunch of natural supplements that I have. This is not medical advice at all. I'm just sharing what I did. I took like everything that could possibly kill bacteria, virus, whatever, and mixed them together at my own risk. Bloodroot, which you got to be very careful with taking. Bartonella blend, I think might have knotweed in it. Sida acuta, buchu, white wormwood. Red root, thyme, star anise, and olive oil, water, chlorella. It feels like the physical body reflected in Gaia is just purging the nasties. The nasties are exposed. And someone's got to back up, or someone was backed up, or someone is backing up, or will be backing up, or just did back up to remove a block that was blocking you so that you can get moving. And this was a money block for your money vehicle, which has been parked in a strange place. And that's free to move now, but it may appear that you're still blocked by a vision hindrance on one side, but it's just perspective. You're not blocked. So you have helpers that came to do the heavy lifting and remove the big block for you. There's someone that was trying to get in, trying to weave some stuff. They're dead. It's like you're crushing death, metaphorically. Some people might be trying to tell you that you're dying, bringing you dead leaves, metaphorically, and just crush them underfoot. Like it's just a dead leaf. That's not me. I was shown an uprooted 3-leaf clover. What that means is going to be different for everyone. Maybe you need to move, like really uproot yourself. Maybe you feel like your roots are all exposed. There's a hornet around, and where there's one, there's more. You got to be careful with those. So maybe if someone is sick, maybe someone has an STD from a net of promiscuous people. Maybe someone's dealing with narcissists. So do protect yourself, stay healthy. Stop picking at your face. It's for someone. But it may feel as though stuff is coming out of your skin. Again, this is not medical advice. I like taking zinc picolinate myself whenever I feel any weird skin stuff around the face. Shiputsui ki ematayotso. But do see a doctor, get medical advice from a professional, not from anyone on YouTube. This is a collective reading. Nothing I say is medical advice. Everything is for your entertainment only. And we're going to pull the cards. Oh, someone's father Someone is concerned about their father. They're like walking around outside, avoiding the cracks on the sidewalk, avoiding the lines on the sidewalk, not wanting to break their father's back by stepping on a crack, not wanting to break the father's spine by stepping on a line, avoiding stepping on the shadows even. Someone's really concerned about their father, and it seems like the father has dementia. Not a very deep form of dementia, but a bit of dementia. Like there's two of him and he's talking to himself and he believes he has to leave his body, like another vortex is calling him to save his family or to save his own body or to save his work. He feels he needs to have some out-of-body weird experience, and it's dementia comes from being in a dark place for too long. A lot of happy New Age spiritual people, they say, oh, you're crazy. When you have a good connection with God, you're never going to get dementia, no matter how crazy you appear to other people. It's a higher vibrational frequency. You're more in tune, even if it may seem like you're getting out of tune from other people. Dementia comes from a darkness, a dark space. Like Jean-Luc Picard after he was connected with the Borg. That's how he got... it's a disease that doesn't exist on Earth. They named it something on Star Trek that's similar to dementia from these old Borg cells. So it can come from being connected to things that are not real. And that's why it's important to clear your energy in meditation. And get those blood tests, make sure that you are in the clear. And clean your body. Drink lots of water with lemon juice. It's a good one. I like chlorella to take out any heavy metals, is what they say. You come back to yourself with sound. I appreciate you so much for being here. It's you guys that bring the sound out of me. Someone's been dancing in the sky, wearing a mask, like this ballerina in the sky with the birds. I'm getting a nervous energy with this card. I don't know why. It was upside down. Even my hand is shaking. There's something very nervous about this person. They're on a very fine line. You know, they're ballerina posing on a super fine line. They could definitely fall while they're trying to trap a bird. There's like another line with a circle. And they're wearing a mask. And they're already upside down. So I think that bird lady who's wearing a mask and doing all that balancing is just upside down. It's fallen. I think it's their nervousness. There's nowhere for them to go. They can't keep performing stage tricks like that in the sky with the birds. Like, who are they doing that for anyway? There's really weird feelings with that card. I don't like it. Justice. May feel like it's on its head for now, but it is turning upwards. When justice turns upwards, the sword turns downwards. Right, so when justice is on its head, that's when the knife is pointed up and people want to fight. But when justice is here, Lady Justice is here, the knife is pointed down. You put down your weapons. Put down your tweezers, put down your blade, stop picking at your face, whoever's doing that. Someone may need to eat less greasy food, take a break from all fried food altogether. It's for someone. Someone is about to get burned so badly. So badly. Like that your enemy, whoever caused the injustice, they are going to get burned and branded by this glowing hot blade. The scales are very much tipped. You know, nothing was ever even in the story. Motsuataya Yeah, come back into yourself. Stop getting lost in other people's stories. Observe without absorbing is the flex. How to observe without getting absorbed. That's what you're learning. That's what you're learning through your own emotions. While you're in the water, how can I observe without absorbing? You gotta stay in your own bubble. Sepyochoike. I had a feeling she would come up. She's on her head too. I see this woman as a Libra. I think she got busted in her lies. The Queen of Air is falling. She's always using a second set of eyes, this woman. Always, like a two-headed beast. She lost her own head a long time ago. Just became kind of one with the air, thinking that she was all magical, but really just an airhead. And I think she became crazy. Because the person she was always listening to had yellow eyes. Jaundiced eyes. This could be someone with jaundice, but I think it could be, you know, a spirit that is lesser than a fallen one. I command out and off my channel all evil eyes, including those of the fallen angel watchers, Sam Yaza and your 200 legions. I command off my channel, out of my viewers' homes, out of my mind, out of their minds, out of their homes, out of their devices, by the blood of Jesus, in the name of El Olam. In the name of O Elam. The everlasting God. Only those beings who serve the highest form of love are welcome here. So this is still a time to be strong. But here I'm feeling that you have strength with you. It's like you are protected. You're very much protected by your group of angels that's just calling out all the ick around you. Whatever was telling you that you're dying, you felt like you were dying, it's really your old life that's dying. And you're ready to move. Something's up with the moon. You know it's artificial, so you refuse to look at it. But there's mystery there. And as you refuse to look at the moon, you're seeing your own grace in the reflection of the light of the moon by staying in your own bubble. Looking at what you are putting out with your own hands. And that's good. That's a good interpretation of the moon. You know you can never understand it anyway. So you're not doing any bullshit. You're just minding your own business. And enjoying the sunlight reflected off the moon. You're playing with your own shadow and adding flowers and stars and love. You're becoming a royal shadow worker, like a royal, an adept. You don't feel quite ready to toot on your own horn, but that time will come. You may feel like a fool right now, on its head, not knowing what to do, ground zero. But soon you'll be tooting your own horn, that you're lucky enough to be in such a place of clarity. With the blocks removed, detached. Your unicorns come out with the 7 of fire. It was a fight of petty annoyances, and a lot of them, and it even made your face bleed. But what's been exposed is that your vehicle really is a unicorn. You really are a rare breed, a rare steed, a rare animal. And that's why all these specks of fire were thrown at you. Just because you're special. And like the Fool card, you're ready to jump off a cliff. But now you know you're a unicorn. And you could open those wings. Like the page of air. Once you let yourself become Pegasus with your unicorn, you begin to page the sky. There was a dark spirit that woman was working with that is slowly being eclipsed, or the dark spirit is changing, metamorphosizing. backing off back into the shadows, realizing that they have no authority, no grounds to be messing with you. They may be even repenting, whatever that means in their spirit land. This is an earth spirit. And this earth spirit is one of neglect, abandonment, loneliness. And that may have been the only reason why you were connected with that liar, the crazy woman. Because you both had the spirit of abandonment, of neglect, loneliness. But once you define it and shine the light on it, it has nowhere to hide. And once you no longer associate with that spirit, you do not feel abandoned, you do not feel lonely. Then you don't feel that spirit. And there's no thread, there's no common thread. Someone is aching in their heart. For their father who may have dementia, or who has dementia. He may be in another country or far away. And you may feel like you want to visit them, but you may feel blocked. You may not know how to get there or where to go. You may not know where he is. I think this is a search for the Father, the true Father. Like you're waiting for your airship to take you there, or your airplane. The Hierophant. And this deck is female. This really feels like a much higher judgment. The feather here, she wrote something's been written, something has been signed in your favor. I'm getting this is the justice of the courts. The high priestess knows what is true and what is not true, and divine order is being restored. Yehovah. Yehuhia. Yehuhia. God knows all. And just as she is all-knowing, from both sides, light and darkness, the table that she's writing on, the crystals, the cup, the essence, the perfume, the rings, the candle, the knocker, the faces, and there's like a door knocker on the altar, or the working table. I don't know if you could see that. It's a face. There's consciousness in everything, in every splinter of wood. There's God. And maybe this is you taking full authority, taking full ownership, full power over all of the elements. Something about these rings, they seem like 2 wedding rings. And they're off. Maybe someone is getting a divorce. Maybe someone is preparing for union. But they are off. They're not being worn on any fingers. This just feels like exposure. A very grand exposure in the high courts, where everything is talking. Except the page of water is fishy, very fishy. So you cannot believe your feelings. This page of water, it's childish. The fishtail. You cannot believe your feelings at this time. They're lies. Feelings are not permanent. Feelings are just feelings. They can be swayed by a scent, a touch, something sensual. But in the end, like a fish, it swims away. You can't catch it. It's not tangible. And this is very young. This is a young messenger. Or there's something very immature. And I think there's lies. There's lies being told about emotion. And it's like water spraying up, this just fluff, fizz, little bubbles. The bubbles from champagne that fizz out in no time. And it takes a big wave to crash against the rock to have that fizz. And the wave will crash again, fizz. But the fizz, it doesn't have that much power. It's just fizz, and it fizzes out. The Queen of Water knows this, and she's much deeper. Her eyes are closed. She's in meditation. She's looking at her own profile. Using deep, deep intuition. I think this is you. You finally left that situation. You finally left the situation of waiting for your ships to come in while you have the treasure, wondering why nothing's meeting up. You finally just left that situation where everything was set up and nothing was ever working out. You just left that situation. And soon you're going to get a message of transformation. This is a real death of your old life. If someone passed, my condolences. But there's no such thing as death of a soul. Souls go on. They just change frequency. They graduate. There's something of the earth. You're going to get a message of changing frequencies. She's upside down. And you should not trust everything you hear. Trust the signs, yes. But don't trust that it's meant for you. See, the whole thing about staff infection, even being given the staff is the rod of authority. But then when you are staff working for someone else, you're under someone else's authority. You always have staphylococcus bacteria in balance running through your body. But when things become out of balance, you can get what's called a staph infection. And this can happen when you become invaded, overrun with too much staph, too much authority, too much external authority running through your blood. So always keep your own internal authority and don't get lost in that feeling of abandonment. Like that lost child, lost in the forest. He's got like moss growing all over him, like stuff growing, growths. The demonic is bacteria, virus, mold, and all that stuff that grows because you're not moving. You're just like waiting for someone else's authority to lead. No, you got to take the lead. You got to be your own authority. It might be an emergency where you are being called to lead. You are being summoned to lead yourself. And you may discover that you are a powerful leader and other people are going to come to you for advice. It's time for you to step into that role where you listen to all of the elements. You take off the rings. You look at them. You listen. You get balanced. That's when your wings spread open and the sun disk, the golden sun disk, is backing you. And you have full authority in your own circle, where you are the center of your own circle, your own world. And nothing can touch your authority. Everyone should be their own Hierophant. The only things in your circle is what you put there. And you can tell good from evil, right from wrong, up from down, based on your own positioning. Of certitude in yourself, not waiting for the authority of another. Now, you've been working a long time at your beat, your music, your bass. This is a bass guitar, and it's on its head. You may feel that you worked really hard for a long time, and now everything is uprooted. It's all on its head. You don't know what you're going to do. Everything was growing out of this instrument, and now it's uprooted. And there's even a little elf dancing on it, and you're like, God, maybe this is the uprooted 3 of clover that was shown to me. Maybe you just don't know what's going to happen with your music. Your music is also your tune, your life, your soul song. The base, the root chakra. How you used to play. Might be changing. What you called play before. Might be a balancing act now, might feel all exposed to the elements. Or your money may be finally hitting ground. All that money that you were growing from the top is now touching earth. So maybe you're going to get that payback because you were uprooted, because you moved, or because someone moved that money block away for you. Now you can leave the driveway just by making a little turn. It's whatever is perceived to be blocking you is not really blocking you anymore. Your way is cleared. Like even if it looks like there's something in front of your car, if you can just turn a little bit and get out of the driveway. And you may have to go like this, and you're not used to positioning your vehicle like that. And in doing so, you're freeing up a lot of money. So I'm going to leave it here because this finally makes sense with the symbols I got at the beginning. There's some kind of complete change of not just perspective, but of movement, of playing your instrument, of navigating. And it may be that this little voice in your head that you had to turn on its head. Maybe you were always listening to this little elf, and you have to stop listening to the elf and just get serious. And that puts everything on its head, but it frees up your money. And now instead of the money being up there somewhere, it's just all under your feet. You're walking on money. The King of Earth is going to come. He was also upside down. So maybe he's deep in thought right now. When I turn it right side up, what I get is that the antler has a disc or something around it. Like his antler spearheaded something. Maybe this is the father. Maybe this is a red blood cell. Or maybe this is the block of an invasion. Just like that, just naturally fell on the antler. There's something big coming off the cheeks and off the face of this King of Earth as well. Like he's losing a really big mask around the jaws.
Like the Godfather had all this stuff stuffed around here.
I think this is gonna fall off. He's worried about how he may come off or how he may appear, but he feels like the message is so important for you to hear that he's willing to take his mask off so that you hear the message. Or this is what he's considering while he is in hangman pose, deep in thought, getting another perspective. And he may be fighting against his own inner child wounds that are also upside down. The elf of his own, that voice that is a mischief maker, the voice that belongs to clubs, groupthink, and all that BS. Maybe there's a sister who passed away. My condolences for those who lost someone close and they're stepping out of grief. Just remember, the energy that you're in will attract similar energies. sometimes the exact polar opposite energy is true. But is there such thing as a polar opposite? How do you know cold if you don't know hot? So these polar opposites, when they're seen as the sphere that they really are, it's an extreme, right? If you're extremely hot, you may attract extremely cold, and it's the extremeness that is the likeness in energy. So if you want to get closer to God, speak God, speak kindness, speak joy, speak sweetness. Think it, mean it. Elevate your energy. To the merciful. To be merciful. To align with the most merciful God. Have mercy on yourself. Have mercy on others. Have mercy on your enemies who lied to you, who tricked you. But don't take any shit. Keep your protective circle, your boundaries. Because I'm getting mischief off this card. It says a mischief manipulator. Just like a walking headache, and instead of accepting who she is, she just puts on horns and gives her headache to others. And thinks she's all magical when she's just pushy. This is pushy person that may have entranced you with a dance, or their eyes, like light eyes and dark skin, looks beautiful, magical. But there's something pushy, because this person is not has not gone within. They're just all pushing out. And if that individual that's always pushing out would just conserve their energy, it's the law of conservation. They could become a master as such by recycling their own energy. Instead of feeling pissed off and blocked by other people that are recycling their own energy. So there seems to be messages of containment, movement, stability while feeling uprooted, and to protect yourself from the stingers and the weavers and the little bugs. Have patience with yourself and let things happen. You may be having difficulty with this, but this is where it's at. When you let things happen rather than try and make things happen, things move along more smoothly, more gracefully. Well, there's the real antlers. Maybe someone has a generous aunt. This is a sweet soul. A very sweet soul coming in with money for you. Their antlers in the forest heard that you were in need. And they're coming adorned with priceless wisdom, or money, or offerings of spheres of influence, opportunities. You will be fortunate in the opportunities presented to you through this beautiful deer spirit, the white stag. We'll leave it here with the Queen of the Earth at the bottom of the deck. Who's also on her head. Everything seems to be on her head. And she's talking to a white butterfly. Lots of coils in the hair. That's at the bottom of the deck. Because you are inheriting your own land. Your body starts off all within, and then the earth. Maybe you're buying land, maybe you're buying a home. Click like. Hype the video if it resonated. Thank you for your donations. In the description box is information how to donate. Joining members is also a great way to support the channel. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you.